Now, you can probably recall the euphoria that erupted when Joe Biden won the 2020 United States presidential election. Impromptu street parties broke out in places like New York and Los Angeles, and leftists around the world celebrated that the Oval Office would no longer be occupied by a gauche outsider and former TV reality star like Donald Trump. With the evil orange man vanquished, some politicians were finally able to say what they really thought of him. In a book published last year, senior Labor MP Chris Bowen said Trump was a charlatan and, quote, the worst president in the United States history. He went on, quote, the people of the United States have given us some hope that the charlatans can be defeated and some pointers as to how to do so, unquote. A little over a year later, those pointers about how to do so are clearer than ever. The threat posed by COVID was exaggerated into something that only an interventionist big government could solve. Big tech censored anything related to Joe Biden's corrupt family. Lies about Trump's foreign collusion were perpetuated, and the candidate they put up as the alternative to Trump was a doddery old bloke who'd hardly offended anyone after 40 years in Washington because he hadn't done anything, and is now sitting on the lowest approval ratings in history. Who's the charlatan now, Chris? Since writing that book, Bowen's party has been swept into office in the May federal election. And Bowen himself has been given the Ministry of Climate Change and Energy. My next guest, Nick Cater, has written a splendid piece in today's Australian about Bowen's energy transformation roadmap. It includes a plan to reduce household power bills by $275. Hang on a sec. No, he's not going to do that anymore. So Bowen is going to turn Australia into a renewable energy superpower that overtakes emerging coal-fired powerhouses like China and India, using windmills and dusty solar panels across the desert. No, actually, he's not going to do that either, is he? OK, well, at least his shutting down of Australian industries is going to reduce the number of extreme weather actually, no. What is Bowen hoping to achieve? Let's bring on Nick Cater for some answers. Nick, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Fred. Great to be here again.
Now, for people who missed it last week, Nick presents his own show at 8 p.m. on Fridays, right here on ADH, which we will talk about in a minute. But first, Nick, you've crunched the numbers in Bowen's transition to lower emissions and higher renewables. How do these figures stack up?
Yeah, not just me, Fred. I don't want people to think that I just did this, in my own spare time. This is the Australian Energy Market Operator, right? They are the mob who are supposed to keep the electricity flowing to our homes. And they say, and this is based on Labor's 43% target, that we are going to have to triple the amount of wind and solar farms that we have right now by 2030. Somehow we've got to plan them, put them in place, have them up and running by 2030. We're going to have to cut the amount of coal out of the system by 60%. So 60% of the coal generation that's currently in operation is going to have to disappear by 2030. We're going to have to triple the amount of rooftop solar, and they're going to have to increase the amount of storage, batteries presumably, because they don't have any other ideas, by 7 times, right? All this in the space of 8 years.